What is up, everybody? It's your boy Herf here, back on the Duel Entertainment channel, and today we're going to be talking about Triamids because a lot of people really like the deck. They want to know how to play it, and so they're like, "Yo, Herf, make a Triamid guide." So here we are. So to start out, this video is going to be similarly structured to the Magician Girls video, in that I'm going to talk about the core of the deck, some tech cards, play through a couple duels, and then we're going to show you some tournament footage breaking down what's going on in that regard as well. So to talk about the core of the deck, really, I would say that this is really like the non-negotiable core of the deck. Like, in my opinion, this is it. And then off of that, most people play two fortress. A lot of people would consider this to be pretty core, as well as, I really prefer two dancer. It's less necessary now that you have Sphinx, but I just really like two dancers, a good option in case Sphinx gets karma cut or something. You still have a way to get over like big monsters. And then I have really enjoyed having needle sealing in the deck, purely because you can put fortress up and none of your monsters are destroyed. So this basically just becomes a treacherous you can use more than once. And then floodgate trap hole, pretty phenomenal. I don't know how much I need to say about it, but Floodgate also has synergy with Triamid Master in that you flip it face down and then Master can pop whatever you set. So then Master essentially can pop a Cocytus if it's floodgated first. So that's really cool. And then the extra deck is a bunch of random Xyz monsters I'm literally never going to make. So there's that. And then Sphinx, this card is fantastic. So cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned with the effect of a Triamid card. This card cannot be special summoned in any other ways. If a Triamid card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. While I control another Triamid card, this card gains 500 attack and defense for each field spell with a different name in your graveyard. Also, monsters your opponent controls cannot attack except attack Triamid Sphinx. So this card kinda is like it warps the board. So like your opponent needs to deal with this first. And why I say that is, like, they can't attack anything else. They have to attack this, and this is a huge body. So a deck like Kara Curry a lot of times has a really hard time trying to out Sphinx. Like they need to have like Karmika or something like that, which can hurt the deck a lot, but still very, very good. And then all of the little Triamid monsters have their own effects, as well as the effect to change a field spell to a different field spell. So Master, you can send one face-up Triamid card to the graveyard to destroy an opponent's set card. Triamid Hunter, if a field spell is on the field, you can normal summon again. Dancer, you can return a Triamid card from the graveyard back to the deck, and then everything gains 500 attack and defense on your side of the field. So Triamid Cruiser, when it leaves the field, you get a search for a different Triamid card, so you can flip like Cruiser into King Golem, and then you can search your Sphinx. So that's kind of a neat way. Then King Golem basically turns all your stuff into an Armades. So if your opponent attacks or you attack, no cards or effects can be activated until the end of the damage step. So that's pretty good. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you get to special summon a monster from your hand. So that's pretty good. And then Fortress, all of your monsters gain 500 defense and cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Triamid monster from your graveyard to your hand. So that's pretty cool as well. So then the other tech card I want to talk about that kind of Neg1 made famous when he played this deck in September was Power Sync Stone. This card is really good. You should definitely consider running it, especially if you don't have the other backer that I have. The reason that I don't like it is I don't like negating my own Sphinx, but I can see the utility for it. I just think that, like, it's really good against Chris Jones. I'll say that. But I don't think it's like needed in most of your matchups. But like I said, it's just a preference thing. It's still, it adds a lot of value, and there's definitely reasons to play it, but I just don't prefer it. Also, a lot of people like to play 3 Pulse, but I think Pulse kind of eats through your resources pretty quickly. So while it is nice to have, I think running 3 is too many. So I'm going to show you guys how the deck works. And so for the gameplay footage of this kind of part of how to play Triamids, I recorded a few replays on the ladder to kind of figure out, I want to show you guys some live examples of how to play the deck. So I have 3 different replays. We're going to be talking about what I was thinking, any potential misplays I made, stuff like that, to kind of just illustrate to you guys how the deck should be played. So this is a pretty good opening hand. Pulse is a really good card to open. You always prefer to go first, but this hand is a pretty good one for going second as well. So let's press play. This is a duel I had versus Witchcrafter, so it's kind of a grind fest. Primarily because they're going to be negating my effects a lot. So I wanted to, you always go Hunter first, so then Hunter can summon, but obviously very negated. So then they attack into my Hunter, allowing me to summon my Sphinx. And so we top into a Fortress, which is really nice. Normal summon my Master. So here, looking back on it, I should have just like sat on having a King Golem on the field. So when you're playing against Witchcrafters in the future, I mean, I ended up winning this, but in the future, just sit with King Golem on the field and they can't do anything. Because Vera has to be able to activate in the damage step, and King Golem prevents him from doing that the entire time. So yeah, that was an oopsie on my part. So I'm gonna get Hunter back because I know Vera can only negate once per turn, so I'm gonna be able to do a lot here. So now I realize King Golem is kind of the wave. So I'm just gonna sit with King Golem on the field for a bit. So obviously, so he swung in with Alistair, not really thinking about my King Golem, and that's why it died. That's how it died. So yeah. So with 3 different Triamids on the field, it's pretty reliable to be able to switch in and out of stuff. So yeah. Mm-hmm. He's just negating and negating and negating. And then eventually I'm gonna add back my Dancer here. I'm gonna pop that. So now I'm about to make a misplay here. I forgot that was a set Cocytus. For some reason, like I was just dueling and stuff like that. So technically the correct play here would be Master, send Dancer, pop Cocytus, and then swing for game. But I did an oopsie here. I mean, ultimately it won't matter because he no longer has Vera on the field. But I made a somewhat big misplay here. Well, now he has Vera on the field. So I'm going to search my Sphinx. So we're all good now. We're just going to pop that. And I'm pretty sure we're just going to have game this turn. But yeah. So eventually, so you want to think about how and when the King Golem is going to help you, because that was like my biggest misplay. Also, using Master's Effect to pop set monsters to go for game is really important as well. So we can go into the second one. So we're facing Evil Eye, and so this is kind of an awkward hand to draw. Especially, we really don't want to go second versus Evil Eye. I do end up winning this one, but I believe this is the one where I make a couple of misplays that we can talk about. So the nice thing I'll pause really quick. The nice thing about opening any two Triamids and a King Golem is that Master is going to be able to flip King Golem into Cruiser to special summon Dancer from the hand, and then Dancer will be able to switch the field spell again to get another effect. So overall, it's pretty good. So this guy makes a pretty big misplay by clogging his back row. So he didn't send Celine for some or defeat for some reason, and that pretty much cost him this duel. So I'm gonna do what I just said. I'm gonna summon the dancer. I'm gonna flip into fortress. I'm gonna search another dancer. Gonna needle stealing because I didn't realize that Celine protects from destruction as well. I thought it only prevented targeting. So that was a misplay on my part. But what I should have done then is get my Sphinx earlier, but this will eventually be okay. My main goal now was just making a big wall. And so this dancer actually goes the distance and he can't like ends up not being able to do anything because double dancer is actually really good. So recognizing he doesn't have a defeat or any way to remove my stuff, it's nice to set up more as many dancers as possible. As well as King Golem will prevent that recluse from or repose from activating. Not many people play this. It's not as great of a card, but if I would have been sitting in King Golem for longer, I would have prevented that from being able to activate. So King Golem, Cruiser, back into King Golem to prevent my stuff from being banished, and searching Sphinx. So he's just going to end up having to pay a lot of life points here, which is good for me. So my Sphinx is going to end up getting banished here. But this guy's now at 4,900 defense, so we're kind of chilling for the most part. We're going to special summon from hand, get into another King Golem. So by here we're just establishing a dancer that he literally can't out. Because at this point, he would need to pay life points in order to get over it. And he can't pay any more life points, so he just makes a heraldry and loses. So double dancer is a really important thing to establish when they have obviously like big monsters as fast as possible, because the double dancer a lot of times will create a board that your opponent just like can't out. Like double dancer boosting is by far like an amazing strategy, because like increasing your attack points by 1,000 and your defense by 1,000 every turn is something that most decks just like can't keep up with, as well as the field spells is amazing. So this time I'm facing Blue Eyes. He's playing the Ultimate Dragon skill. So this hand isn't as good as you could hope for, but it's really not bad because Cruiser, when it's sent to the graveyard, will search. So that's why I play it first, and then I put a Fortress over it, so that it's sent to the graveyard, and I can search anything from my deck to my hand. So I end up searching a Master, just because Master has the most attack. So he's going to go first with Sage, and then he's going to set one and pass. So I end up reading that it's really nothing, and I wanted to keep this on the field to prevent from being destroyed by card effect. So he's going to banish my back row here, but I'm going to flip into King Golem so we can't activate anything else. So then Sphinx is going to get summoned, and now he can't really out a Sphinx, so we're going to Dancer, boost, and then we're going to threaten to swing. And then now I believe he plays, yeah, so he activates Dragon's Mirror. And so this would normally be somewhat problematic. However, he can only attack into Sphinx, and the effect of the Ultimate Twin. Here, let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, so this is what they're normally going into, and so it says when you battle, if the opponent's monster is still on the field, you can banish it. But if King Golem is on the field, he can't activate the banish effect, and he can only attack in the Sphinx. So it's just kind of there. And so right now, we're just establishing a bigger field. Obviously, that can't be destroyed by battle, but we're just thinning the deck out to get into our either another needle ceiling or into a pulse. And so we're just establishing just a big beefy board. He's gonna write Geki Break to back row. It's honestly fine. He can't do anything about anything. Like, he's just passing because I mean, I have a 6,000 attack Triamid Sphinx, so it's like, yeah, he can't do anything. So we're just continually boosting and thinning. But yeah, it's pretty funny, the fact that, or I'll speed it up. But yeah, cards are consonants. He's going to attempt to Black Dragon Sword, but we just floodgate it. He's gonna add back Spirit of White, and he realizes he can't do anything. But that's how, I mean, this deck is very like resource reliant. So you can figuring out how to snowball like that, like continually flipping in and searching, summoning, stuff like that with your field spells is really important. So if you have, like I said, like if you have two Triamids, let me go back to the deck. If you have like two Triamids and a King Golem, that's actually really good. And the reason why is because King Golem will special summon from your hand. You can put Cruiser on the field, and then you will special summon the other Triamid monster in your hand, and then change that Cruiser probably back into a King Golem, and then you can get a search as well. So you're searching and summoning from the deck by flipping from King Golem into Cruiser and back and forth and back and forth. And then Fortress, its main utility is adding back from the graveyard. So if your Sphinx gets destroyed somehow, you can add it back, or just protecting from destruction. So if they use Raigeki Break, or they try to pop your monsters with Rakiri, stuff, just random stuff like that, or if you want to use your own needle ceiling, putting Fortress on the field is really, really powerful. So, and with that, that is going to wrap up the how to play Triamids video. If you guys have other decks, other specific questions that you want me to go over in the future, please just leave it in the comment section below. I do like read all of the comments on all of my videos. So if you guys have feedback or want other decks for me to do, just let me know and I can make sure I can get to them. But that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hey, just gonna put it out there. We got a join button with different tier benefits. So hey, I'm just gonna put it out there. You know what? You do what you want. But hey, if you like more tournaments with bigger prize support, I'm looking to joining. Plus, you get a bunch of other perks. So do what you want, but choice is there now. Anyways, also make sure you get in the Twitch. Make sure you follow and subscribe there, because that's actually where we host the tournaments. And if you're interested in joining them or getting new player help, we have by far the best free new player help. Okay, our new player help is absolutely free. You can come in there. We make videos. You come in, tell us what you have. We'll tell you the best way to start your account, best decks to make with what you have, all that fun stuff, all for the price of $0. So come hop in the Discord. Also, that's how you join the tournament. So if you're a more competitive player, you can hop in there. You just have fun, practice, do whatever. There's a bunch of cool people in there, so I highly recommend joining. But with that, like I said, the video is gonna end here. So I'll see you guys next time, and see ya.